How many kids you got?
I got 3.
You got 3?
Yep.
How many baby daddies?
I have 3.
You got 3 baby daddies.
Yes.
Okay. How many kids you have?
I have 2.
How many baby daddies?
2.
2? Okay. So you didn't think after the first one that you wanted to marry the next one?
No.
No? How many
And
kids
your
you have?
preference. I have 3.
You have
25,
3?
18, and 12.
Okay. How many baby daddies?
2.
2. Okay. So it's no disrespect towards that, right? But I just want you to understand when it comes to a man of top tier, right? We give you a few from one man. That's it. If you have multiple from a different man, that disqualifies yourself.
So it disqualifies a top tier woman from getting a top
That's
tier
exactly
man.
right. Why? Because there's billions of women on this planet.
All right, Brian.
Yo, my man was going in. Oh my goodness. How many kids? How many men? How many kids? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Let's watch. Let's see.
So you came out episode 15. I was like, Brian, what are some of your deal breakers? You said you don't have not one, not any. But as we saw, as you went down the line, you did have a deal breaker, and that was women that have multiple baby daddies.
Right?
So, what do you, is that something you came out knowing, or?
Of course I came out knowing, but for that right person, I will compromise for that, right? And I think every man will compromise for that if they come in with multiple kids for multiple different men, right? Okay. We gotta like them like that. That was my deal breaker, but like I said on the show, then I would extend grace for somebody that I'm feeling like that. So that's what that was.
Okay.
I agree. I know it's the internet. Most men don't want single moms, blah, blah, blah. But the truth is, most men don't have options like that to be picky and choosy. Now, if you're 25, no kids, yeah. But if you're a man 35 or older, you got no kids, chances are you're going to run into a woman with kids. Now, you can be very strict about that if it's really that important. But majority of women you're going to find are going to have kids. But the thing is, a man will bend his rule of not wanting to be with a woman with kids if she's nice, well put together, respectful, kind, over a woman who has no kids, but she's rude, she's disrespectful, she's masculine, bossy. The choices are very simple. A man will settle with a single mom who's kind to him, nice to him, respectful, over a woman with no kids who's rude. That's the truth. Now some of you guys are going to be like, I'd rather be single. Sure, but if you had to choose, the choices are simple.
Okay. So then why is that something you didn't say like up front when I was like, oh, what's your deal breaker?
Because after listening to the women, I don't know which one I was going to like. I didn't, as far as their responses, who I was going to attract or pull energy from. So I didn't really know who I was going to feel until I heard what they had to say. So that's that grace part right there, right? So even if they had multiple different kids from multiple different men, if I still like them like that, I would accept that, like real men do.
Okay.
Well, I don't think it's about real men, but what he just simply said is what I just said, that most men, okay, maybe I won't say most men. Well, I will say most men. Most men would prefer a kind, feminine, soft, nice looking, respectful woman with kids over a woman who has no kids but is the complete opposite.
Okay. So you're kind of saying like you didn't want to say that just in case one of them popped on you?
All of them would have popped if I said that.
He was testing the waters.
Yeah.
But he was giving nobody grace. Why are you saying
Well,
grace?
I mean,
You were giving no grace.
even though that we
sure.
we talked, me and this guy earlier, we was joking around. He said nothing wrong. Like, it devalues the woman when you go through multiple men and have multiple baby daddies. We don't want to deal with that. If you got,
I would even say it devalues the man if he has multiple kids with multiple women. In fact, I would not advise a woman who has no kids to go with a man who has multiple kids with multiple women. In fact, I would go even a step further. I would not advise a woman who has kids with one man to go with a man who has multiple kids with multiple women. That's drama. That's too much going on. Because remember, every time you get with someone who has kids, it's not just about you. It's them and their kids. It's not just ever about you. Oh, because some women like to say, oh, I don't need no father for my kids. They get their own kids. But if you guys are going to be in a stable, long-term relationship with that man, at some point he's going to meet your kids. At some point, he's going to say something to your kids. At some point, he's going to buy something for your kids. Let's say it's their birthday, you're celebrating, you're going to invite him, he's going to have to bring something. So at some point, he's going to get involved with those kids, even if they have their own dad, even if the dad gives them everything. But if you really want a stable, long-term relationship with this man, he's going to be involved. So it's never really just about you. The kids are going to be involved at some point, whether it's a man or woman.
Got 3 kids and 3 baby daddies. It's like, damn, your decision making skills are horrible.
Y'all forget that y'all are the ones who
And
play
then right there.
And then y'all forget that I'm 41 years old. I got a 25-year-old child. So you're basing your perception of me from 25 years ago.
Come on.
I'm not that person I'm not that kid that I was 25 years ago.
It doesn't matter if a man killed someone 25 years ago, you are going to judge that man. We are judging decision making. You are going to judge that man. Let's be honest. So a man has every right to judge you the same way on your past decisions. Because how is he supposed to know you're never going to make the same bad decisions again? You don't know if he's going to ever kill again. So you can either choose to believe him and just take his word for it or not. But there's evidence of 3 different men, 3 different kids depicting your decision making.
And I'm not that young adult that I was 25 years ago. I've grown from that. I've healed from that. I now make better choices, better decisions. Right. And I live more of a healthy love life, you know, than I did then. So you're going to tell me, oh, well, you got this many kids, I can't date you.
No,
but that happened 25 years
it's
ago.
not the number of kids.
See, I think the issue here is I don't think men would judge women so much or be very strict with having different kids with different men if women didn't judge men so harshly when it comes to height, when it comes to money, when it comes to hair, when it comes to all these other things. If women gave men grace when it comes to height and all these other things they like, I think majority of men would do the same. But what I see in the dating scene right now, men are like, you judge me for height, you judge me for all these things, especially things I have no control over. I'm going to judge you on things you have control over or you had control over and you didn't do. I'm going to judge you on your weave. I'm going to judge you on having kids with so many men. So women, if you want grace, give us grace as well. I think if we both give each other grace, we wouldn't have these issues.
At what point are you going to give grace? Like at how long are you going to, I don't want to use the word punish, for lack of better words, a woman for her past.
It's
like
not
Brian.
But you guys don't give grace to guys because they are 5'6", because they're 5'7", because they don't have a 6-figure job. You don't give those guys grace.
Came out and said, I don't judge a woman from their past. We all make mistakes. And then he basically just flat out judged.
That's the gentleman's preference. We're not judging you for how many kids.
Yeah.
It's how many baby fathers you got. If you get with a guy and I'm 40 years old per se, and I have 8 kids by 6 different women, that says something.
And then everybody's situation is different. Like
4
we
kids
all have
and
different
4 baby
circles.
daddies.
But that's not what it was.
Baby daddies.
My children I have by 2 different men. And I was in a 12-year relationship that was abusive. I escaped that by God's grace. I give thanks.
It doesn't matter because that you are going to judge the guy and you don't want him to explain himself. Oh, but this and this, I was this. And no, you're not going to hear it. So like he said, everyone has preferences. So when people have preferences, they are not obligated to sit down and hear how you got into the situation. Because you never sit down and hear out and listen to why the guy doesn't make 6 figures, why he's not 6 feet tall, why he doesn't have 6 inches dick. You never sit down and let the guy explain to you. So he has every right to judge how he wants.
every day. And so when I moved on to the next relationship, I'm just looking for something better than what I had. And just because it was better doesn't mean it was for me. So when I realized this isn't for me, you know, should I marry this man just because society is going to look at me like I'm a failure as a mother or as a woman? Or no, should I keep going and look for what is really for me? I'm not going to say that I've made all the best decisions as a young adult. I never said I made the best decisions.
And that's what we're referring to, the decision-making skills.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's now, that's in the past. So you're not gonna meet a woman and she tell you she stole a candy bar at 14 years old. Oh no, I can't do that. I don't do thieves.
She's always a thief.
Yeah, she was a kid. She made a mistake. She ate that, and the candy bar is gone. So in my situation, I feel like I ate that. I ate that relationship that I went through. I ate being a young teenage parent. I ate it. Like the young kids say, you ate. I feel like I ate. I've grown from that. I'm not that person that I was.
The relationship
so why?
is awesome, but the key, you're bearing the man's children.
All right. So, Janae, when you were having, your conversation with Brian during that segment, what was going through your mind when he's asking you all these questions like, okay, how many baby daddies, how many kids? What was your thought process? Like, if you want to walk us through that.
I'm true to my core. I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed of my 3 kids. And if I wouldn't have the 3 baby daddies, I wouldn't have my 3 amazing kids. I don't allow him and his judgment to define me as a woman or where I stand on today. It's his preference. He deserves a queen of whatever that looks like for Brian. But for me, you have to accept me as a whole with a 4 unit. So it's
He doesn't have to accept you. That's the thing. He doesn't have to accept you. And if he doesn't accept you, at least I like you for saying that's his preference. But the other woman over there is trying to force the man to accept her. But I'm sure she rejects men for their height. I'm sure she rejects men for not making a certain amount of money. I'm sure she rejects men if they're not trying to take her out on an expensive dinner date. You feel me? So that's the thing. It's like no one should be forced to accept anything. If someone accepts you the way you are, you should be grateful because they're not entitled or they're not supposed to.
It's either, are you even equipped to hold down this fort? You can't judge me. I didn't take anything personally. I talked to Brian afterwards. I said, I don't take anything personal. I'm not mad at you. It is what it is.
It's a
my
preference.
person is my person. You know what I'm saying? But people don't know how to live in reality. They want to live into society, and it's fake to me. I'm not.
She's a good looking woman. I don't like women with braids. She looks good.
With it.
Okay. And then Shayna, you wanted to say
So
something?
one thing I do want to say, which I said to you earlier, we all have our preference, which is fine. You might like them tall, you might like them short, you might like them with the kids. Right. But I think it was just your delivery that really was kind of tough to watch.
Oh my God, here we go with a tone. Oh, it was your tone. Oh, it was the way you said it. He said it how we felt he said it. He said it how he wanted to say it. You cannot tell him how to say it. That was him being authentic. He said how he wanted to say it. When you have preferences and you reject men and you pop their balloons, you say how you want to say it. No one tells you how to say it. So now we're coming from attacking his preferences to now we are attacking the way he said something. Come on, man.
So that's all I had to share. We kind of chatted about it before. Everyone's entitled to what they like, but it's just the way you were speaking to the ladies, which was kind of harsh.
So speaking on that, Brian, do you feel like you could have delivered your message in a different way?
I think I wanted to deliver it the way I did, right?
Okay.
Because if I'm coming on some softness, you're not gonna really grasp what I'm telling you.
Yep.
Right? And the thing about accountability is you want me to deliver it the way you want to hear it. Nah, the truth hurts. The truth hurts. You got to be able to embrace that. We as men, we embrace accountability.
Every day.
And women have to do the same exact
Women
thing
do
and not get
embrace
angry
accountability. I'm not
and feel
angry.
like men
I'm
are
not-
aggressive.
Stop cutting him off. Let him cook. You said you wanted him to say it softly. Let him cook. Let him cook.
I'm not
And
being
feel like
aggressive.
men are aggressive
You are being
when they're delivering what they're trying to say. Like, no, I wasn't disrespectful on the show, right? And maybe I could have delivered it a little bit softer. But
And
that's
then
not
James,
the route that I chose.
you wanted to say something.
Brother, the way you've
Hold
been
on,
talking.
1 second. James is gonna go.
I wanted to say something about that. I understand both sides. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I don't care if a female has a starting lineup. You know what I mean? Like, I've dated girls that have multiple kids, you know, and I think that men think one of two ways. One is like, okay, you made horrible decisions. And then the other downfall could be, you know, these are extra mouths to feed or bills, you know. And for me, I love kids, you know, like
Yeah, but they're not your kids. Okay? It sounds like we got an imp in the congregation. There's always that one, right? By the end of the day, the man stated his preferences. The women don't like it. But he's not obligated to like what they like. The same way they're not obligated to date guys who are short. Matter of fact, like I said, I wouldn't advise a woman to date seriously or get in a relationship with a man who has kids with different women. Because it's not just about the person you are dating, it's going to involve the kids. So at some point, when you guys get serious, all those kids are going to be involved. Even the people that had kids are going to be involved, especially when they are still in contact, which most times they are. Now you have to face his baby daddy, the other baby daddy. You have to talk to all of them because you're interacting with their kids, so they have to know which type of man the woman is bringing around their kids. That's too much. But what you guys think? Comment down below. Full link down below to Arlette Amuli's channel. Subscribe. Peace.